Okay everybody, I just want to start off before we get into the field trip to introduce two concepts that are really important to our course, and that's the difference between a soil and a sediment. If you've got an engineering background, you would consider all of the unconsolidated sediment that's around our province to be soil. And there's lots of textbooks talking about the material properties of soils, but to a geologist, a soil is a very specific part of a sediment. It forms from the weathering and leaching, chemical alterations, physical breakup of rock or sediment to produce a zone in that rock and sediment which we would call soil. And so the soil that you see here is comprised of a black or a dark brown organic layer. There's some leach zones. In some places it's much better than what you see here, but that would be a leached zone where all of the iron or a lot of the iron and clays get moved from that zone down into a deeper part. And then you go into different other horizons of a soil. You can even see some reddening along here. A lot of that may be from parent material. So in other words, the sediment that was brought into here, or in this case, I believe that in part it was due to soil forming processes. So the iron that used to be up here has moved down, alluviated into this location. And then as you go further, it's difficult to see any evidence of a soil at all further down into that sediment. Of course, we would like to know if there are buried soils which indicate past surfaces where there was exposure to the atmosphere. But for now, today, the soil that we see is here at the surface. You can see the vegetation, and it's very distinct from anything that we would call quaternary sediment. This soil is made of quaternary sediment. Some of it is glacial sediment, but some of it is also related to old wave working from beach processes, but also some wind as well. And you can see sometimes the clasts are pointed vertically, sometimes they're more horizontal. There has been probably some cryoturbation and certainly pedoturbation, the soil forming mixing processes that cause sort of a randomness of the clast orientations. We'll come back to class orientations later, but for now I just wanted to point out that today we're not looking at soils unless we find one buried between two sediments.